Princess, welcome back. This video is a review and comparison of Vera tote sized bags. I did have a request, and off the top of my head, I'm sorry at this moment, I can't remember who it was. If I can find my notes, I'll put it in the remarks down below who requested it, but thank you for your request. Sorry I don't have your name off the top of my head, but it was a recent request, and they requested to look at the Vera Bradley Commuter Tote versus the Vera Bradley Work Tote to compare and contrast. So here, those are the first two. Right off the bat, you can see the Commuter Tote is slightly larger, or at least taller, than the Work Tote. Width-wise, they are pretty much the same width. And then depth-wise, let's see here. Okay, this is gonna be harder to look at because this one doesn't have a rigid bottom, but that's the width of this one. And the Work Tote is actually a deeper bag. So I would say this one is 2/3 the depth in this direction as that one. This is also Performance Twill. This is Bedford Plaid. And this one is Java Navy Camo. This is recycled cotton. So the fabrication is also different. And I think, I could be wrong, I won't say, like all of the Work Totes I only have two, but both of them are Performance Twill. I don't know if that was my preference or just the way they came. But the Commuter Tote is available in multiple options as well. Okay, so let's look at some of the details, and we'll look at the Work Tote first. I mean the Commuter Tote first. We have in the middle, we have a slip and then a zip pocket. We have a slip pocket on both sides, which actually wraps around the bag. So depending on how you stack it and stack the inside, you could put something pretty large in that side pocket. Just know that if you do, it's going to push into the interior. So it's kind of an interesting configuration, but it gives you some versatility and some options of how you want to use that. But it is a very deep pocket for sure. On the back, you also have another slip pocket. So it kind of has pockets all the way around. The back is not truly a pocket though, it's a trolley sleeve. So if you were to sew that up on the bottom, you could use it. Or if you just put a zipper in it, like some of the older Vera bags had that detail. Again, we're losing all the details, but we used to have a zip, so when you wanted to use it as a trolley sleeve, you'd unzip it and use it, and when you wanted to use it as a pocket, you could zip it and use it as a pocket. Not the case here, but there you go. It is a tote, so you have tote type straps. They have a nice strap drop, fits very comfortably. They are quilted and padded on there. And this, although it's the recycled cotton version, it's not utility style like the video I just showed. It is actually quilted with the Vera Bradley diamond quilting all throughout. Okay, so inside you have a flap zipper closure, and then you have a laptop kind of compartment. It has a Velcro tab and then a padded section. This is not very thick, but it does kind of segment. If you're not putting a laptop in here, you could put folders or other things. My laptop doesn't fit very well because it's super tall, but it does fit, but not great. On the front of that section, you have two elastic mesh pockets that are on that nylon divider there. On the opposite side of the bag, you have three fabric slip pockets across the back of the bag, or in this case, it's actually the front of the bag. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So it's fairly simple, but it's very effective. It's a nice size tote. And for comparisons, I brought out several other bags to share. So we'll use this as the main comparison because it kind of fits the thing. Before we go on to compare the others, let's look real quick at the Work Tote. You have, similarly, you have a slip and a zip, but this slip and zip are much wider. So that is a nice, this doesn't have a crossbody strap, but if you wanted to tuck in that, you could. Obviously, it's kind of unusual in this bag. The back has a trolley sleeve, but like I was talking about, this one, the trolley sleeve does have a zipper, so when you want to make it a trolley sleeve you can, but when you don't, you zip that up and now you have a pocket. This is my preference by far. I wish Lug would do this too. I wish Vera would bring this back for all of these bags that have these big trolley sleeves on the back, because that gives you max versatility and functionality to get out of your bag. It's quite nice. These straps do have metal loops on them. The Commuter does not. That's just fabric, so these will lay all the way flat. Yeah, so there you go. Inside the bag, you have a flap closure similar to the other. This one, the laptop section is in the middle of the bag instead of the back of the bag, but it's the same kind of thing. It's padded on both sides and it has a Velcro tab closure on it. On the one side, you have two big slips, and then on the center divider where that laptop is, you have two more slip pockets and three pen slots right here, 3 pen slots. So this bag has much more organization, and then no slips on the other side. It's just an open compartment. But once again, it has a semi-rigid bottom, so you have a little more structure to the bag overall. So that is that one. All right, so let me grab a Vera real quick. A standard Vera tote. This one happens to be in Java Purple. This was a custom Vera, but Vera's a Vera, so it's a custom Vera in the, and actually, look at the pattern. It was the old Java Blue that was recolored and then recolored again. And actually, really pretty in all the colors I've seen it in. But purple is my favorite color, so I ordered one of these for myself and for my aunt. But size-wise, very compatible. Basically, the same size here. Now, the bottoms we'll assess in a minute, but when you look at them side by side, they're the same height and the same width. Base of the bag, the Vera is actually deeper. So the Vera is actually a bigger bag than the Commuter Tote. I know you can't see that very well, but this Commuter Tote doesn't have any structure in the bottom. It's just folded on a seam down the middle. But the Vera Tote, you can see, is quite a bit wider anyway, so you can kind of still tell. So there you go. Let me put this one aside. And we'll use the Vera now as the main comparison bag. The Vera configuration is pretty simple. It has a slip and a zip on the front, nothing on the back. It's not really designed as a travel bag per se, but you have 3 slips on each side, 3 on the front, 3 on the back. There you go. So it does have a flap zipper closure on the top as well. The next one I brought out for comparison is the Midtown Tote. This is the larger of the two. There is a small one, but this is the regular size one. It is the Midtown fabrication, which is the predecessor to Performance Twill. It is essentially, to me, the same fabrication, but the Midtown was unquilted and the Performance Twill is quilted. They may be actually physically different, but they're basically the same. There you go. And this one has faux leather straps on it. But size-wise, you can see once again, they are very comparable in size, height, and width at least. The base, once again, pretty comparable. This one is basically the same size as the Vera. Like I said, this one has faux leather straps. Another difference while we're talking about that, oh no, never mind. They go all the way down on all these bags. Inside this one, you have a zipper privacy pocket on one side and 2 slips just in the middle on the other side. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so we'll move that over. But the Midtown, just like the Performance Twill, is water resistant, so that's another thing. By the way, this is cotton. The Java Navy Camo is recycled cotton. What, baby? What? Now, I have forgotten what this tote is. I'll look for it and I'll try to put it down below. I've forgotten what this tote is called, but it is in Bramble pattern. It has folded handles, not rolled. So they're folded and there's some structure in there with some padding a little bit, but they're not truly rolled. And they lay kind of flat, but they don't have the straps all the way down. They're only fixed right here with this faux leather tab right there on both sides. But they lay flat just because of the way they're constructed. The front here does have a slip pocket, and the front is a magnetic flap closure for that pocket on the front. This was in the period when it was regular cotton, but the interiors were nylon. Okay, so Vera went through a thing. They used to have interior coordinating patterns to the exterior, cotton. In fact, a lot of the interiors were actually quilted back then, not the case for a long time now. Then they went to a solid colored nylon, which we all rebelled about, and they eventually went back to a patterned nylon, which we still rebelled about, and they brought back patterned cotton. So we've kind of come full circle on that part of it. But anyways, this was in the period when they were doing patterned nylon interiors, so still coordinating, but not. This was also the period where they had those really rough, scratchy metal zippers. They do take 2 hands to open and close, and also when you pass your hand by them, they scratch you. But anyways, inside this one, you have a privacy pocket on the back, and on the front, you have 2 big slip pockets. But pretty simple, and it is a little bit smaller base, but pretty comparable. It's a lot less structured, though. Overall, it's a pretty slouchy bag, as you can see. So there's that. Size-wise, side by side, it's probably, I would say about 3/4 the size. It is slightly smaller, but definitely in the same group. Then I have this one, also in Bramble, but this is the ultimate baby bag. This is one I think you can still get now in the current patterns, although they will be recycled cotton. This one is in cotton, Bramble. It has 2 big slips on the front. I actually have a luggage tag on there because I was using it as a travel bag. On the back, you have a magnetic pocket. It goes all the way across. Inside, you have a baby changing, I don't say pad, it's more so just a mat. And then you also have a zipper pocket inside here as well. And that is all for that. Get back in there. Okay. So big base again, but not quite as big as the Vera. I think overall size, when you put them side by side, top to bottom, the Vera you can see is slightly taller and slightly wider. And the base is also wider. So the Vera is bigger. But this one has a couple things the Vera doesn't. One, it has a crossbody shoulder strap that is removable, adjustable, and has the pad on it as well. And it has metal fittings, pretty robust ones at that. So that is nice. It also has stroller straps, so you can hang it on the back of your stroller. It comes with these. By the way, these you could use as a wristlet strap for something else if you so desire, but they're on there built into the bag. The bag also has cargo pockets on the side. These are insulated. You can hear that insulated interior in there in both sides. So that's nice. I mean, it is a baby bag, so it's designed with a little more functionality. Inside the bag, you have 2 big mesh pockets on the one side. And inside one of those, you have a wet dry bag that is like a ditty, but it's wet dry. So it's plastic interior. So that's not, I forgot that was in there. That's cool. And then on the other side, you have 2 big slips. And these ones are actually like sort of waterproof feeling, not just a regular nylon. And then it also has a bottle pocket, a mesh bottle pocket. It's not mesh actually. It's a black nylon, but you have a bottle pocket on each end on the inside. So a lot of organization on this, which is why I bought it as a travel bag. So there you go. So plus you get all the extras with it, which is kind of cool as well. So that's the ultimate baby bag. I'm just gonna put all these straps inside and send that over to the pile. Okay. Last but not least is the utility tote. This is the one in classic navy that I just hauled today from the online outlet sale. And it is a great size tote. I really love this configuration. Yeah, so I had to buy another one. But here it is versus the Vera. It is slightly smaller, so it's slightly shorter. You can see that here, slightly narrower in this dimension. And as for the base, it is about 1/2 to 2/3 the depth. So it is fairly smaller. I would say overall about 2/3 to 3/4 the size of the Vera. This one we just went over. I'll put the link here for the haul so you can see all of the pockets in here. But just very functional. I just really loved the way it worked out. So, But for the classic Vera, it's a longtime favorite of mine. I have lots of them. I don't honestly use them very often, but I do love them. And they're great for a great many things. They hold a lot, and they're nice shoulder straps. I wish they had a crossbody option. Some versions do, but really not so much. Like I think on the custom you used to be able to get that. I never did. But anyway, there you go. That is the Vera Tote Spectrum. It is not all inclusive, but it is fairly comprehensive. If you have any questions, as always, please let me know. Bye for now.